Hey guys, we've all seen all the LED posts and everybody's getting sick of them and so on and so forth, but maybe some useful information. The top brands are that people post is SII, Eagle, and beamtech. I have no experience with Eagle. I have experience with SII and I have experience with beamtech. I thought maybe you'd find this video interesting. Maybe it's helpful, maybe it's not. I'm going to compare a beamtech to a beamtech. Now, this is a $40, $39.99 Amazon beamtech. It's 8,000 lumens. This is a 12,000 lumen, $79.99, $80 beamtech on Amazon. A couple of differences. See if the camera will focus here. The expensive one here has a module and a cooling fan. The cheaper one does not have a cooling fan. It just has a big heatsink. And I can tell you right now that the heatsink, the cheaper one, on the right hand side light is a little tricky to put in. The heatsink wants to snag on the housing. It catches. It's kind of hard to turn. You gotta put it in on an angle and kind of wrestle with it to get it in there. Now, one thing I wanted to explain, where'd my pen go, is when we talk about, people talk about clocking these, they need to be clocked or they will not, the output will not be what you want it to be or what you think it should be. Now, when we talk about clocking, the forward LED, this forward LED, this one's only slightly more forward than compared to this one. Either way, the forward LED needs to face up. It needs to face up, or your high beam, low beam will not work correctly in the housing. The other thing as far as being clocked, they need to be straight up and down. Cheaper one has the round head. More expensive one has the rectangle head, but either way you can see they need to be up and down flat. 12 and 6. Okay, the way that you clock these, because they will not necessarily go in perfect. The cheaper one has a set screw here. You pull that screw out, you can rotate this so that it's clocked properly. I've already done it on both of these. The more expensive one, this one literally just turns in the round housing here, and it kind of snaps each little click. There's an indent. So I am going to. Oh, also one thing I want to tell you is people make the mistake of when they first put LEDs in the housing itself. When you change these, right in the center of the housing, there's an adjuster. Fire up your sled, point it on a garage door or whatever. The adjuster for LEDs depends upon your preference, weight transfer, so on and so forth. You need to adjust the housing way higher than with halogen bulbs. Most of them are darn near maxed out height-wise, making the housing point up higher. So I'm going to run these. This is a 2017 G4 850 MXDX. I'm going to do the more expensive one first, because that's the other one that I have in the housing right now. This is the 12,000 lumen $80 beamtech. This is low beam. Notice on these more expensive ones, you still, it almost seems like you keep your low beam and you get high beam. It keeps a good shine right in front of you. Low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam. Now I'm doing the right hand side. This is the more tricky one. Like I said, you kind of got to wrestle with it, but once you get it in there and you've kind of figured it out, it's not a big deal. Okay. $40 beamtech, 8,000 lumen. This is high beam. Now notice this one still seems to have the low beam, you know, the shine right in front of the sled on the high beam. I don't remember for sure, but I believe they are both the same color rating at 6500K. Oop, wrong button, sorry. Low beam. I'm trying to get my truck in there for a reference to see. High beam. Low beam. High beam. I'll be honest with you, for $40 difference, I don't know. I'd like to think that the $80 ones seem a little bit brighter, but it could be in my head. If they are brighter, it's really not a very significant amount. I can tell you, I have, in my own personal G4, I have the SII Alpha 2s. I don't have the Alpha 3s. The Alpha 3s are the newest. I have the $40 beamtechs in my XP, which is right there. My SII are in this G4 right here. I can tell you right now that the $40 beamtechs in my XP are just as bright as my SII Alpha 2s that I paid, whatever it was, $120 or $140, or I don't even remember. I'm sure if you look them up, you know. Amazon, you get them quickly. SIIs are coming from Canada. People are getting them in a week and a half, 2 weeks. Some people are waiting a month or 2 months. I'm not knocking SII. I'm not promoting beamtech. I'm not promoting Amazon. I'm just a mechanic who has a small business. I work on boats and sleds, and just thought this video would be helpful. Spend $40, spend $80 on on the beamtechs. Now I have seen a beamtech that I think is like $90 and they claim it's 14,000 lumens. I haven't tested one of those yet, but I thought this would be helpful. Remember, the forward-facing LED needs to be up. They need to be clocked 12 and 6 in the housing. The housing needs to be turned up significantly from stock position or alignment for halogens. They're super easy to install. I like them a lot. If you have the Skidoo if you have the Skidoo accessory LED, it matches that very well as far as the white color, which I'm sure everybody's all seen. So that's about all I got for you. $40 difference, not that much difference, but maybe you want to spend the 80 bucks. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching.